Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, which means it's a brand new opportunity for you to do something amazing, and it all begins today. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Monday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with entrepreneur and family man, Ralph Pittman Jr. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In national news, the Associated Press says Manchin's opposition clouds future of Democratic elections bill. A key Democratic senator says he will not vote for the largest overhaul of U.S. election law in at least a generation, leaving no plausible path forward for legislation that his party and the White House have portrayed as crucial for protecting access to the ballot. Voting in election reform that is done in a partisan manner would all but ensure partisan divisions continue to deepen, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia wrote in his home state newspaper, the Charleston Gazette-Mail. He wrote that failure to bring together both parties on voting legislation would risk further dividing and destroying the republic we swore to protect and defend as elected officials. The bill would restrict partisan gerrymandering of congressional districts, strike down hurdles to voting, and bring transparency to a murky campaign finance system. Among dozens of other provisions, it would require states to offer 15 days of early voting and allow no-excuse absentee balloting. Democrats have pushed the legislation as the antidote to a wave of restrictive state voting laws sweeping the country, many inspired by former President Donald Trump's false claim of fraud in his 2020 election loss. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has pledged to bring the election bill to a vote the week of June 21st, testing where senators stand. But without Manchin's support, the bill has no chance of advancing. Republicans are already united against it. In appearances on two Sunday news shows, Manchin stressed his reasons for opposing the bill, including his view that it is too broad. I think it's the wrong piece of legislation to bring our country together and unite our country, and I'm not supporting that because I think it would divide us further, Manchin said. He also said he believes Republicans will see the need for a bipartisan deal. And if they think they're going to win by subverting and oppressing people from voting, they're going to lose, Manchin said. I assure you they will lose. And more national news, another COVID side effect, many kids head to summer school. Across the United States, more children than ever before could be in classrooms for summer school this year to make up for lost learning during the outbreak, which caused monumental disruptions in education. School districts nationwide are expanding their summer programs and offering bonuses to get teachers to take part. Under the most recent federal pandemic relief package, the Biden administration is requiring states to devote some of the billions of dollars to summer schools. The U.S. Education Department said it is too early to know how many students will sign up, but the number is all but certain to exceed the estimated 3.3 million who went to mandatory or optional summer school in 2019 before the pandemic. In Montgomery, Alabama, for example, more than 12,000 of the school system's 28,000 students signed up for the June 1st deadline. Typically, about 2,500 sign up for summer school. School systems must devote some of the federal funding to deal with COVID-19's disproportionate effect on students from poor families, those whose first language is not English, members of minority groups, and those who are homeless or in foster care. In more national news, states rebound from bleak forecasts to pass record budgets. Just a year ago, the financial future looked bleak for state governments as governors and lawmakers scrambled to cut spending amid the coronavirus recession that was projected to pummel revenue. They laid off state workers, threatened big cuts to schools, and warned about canceling or scaling back budget projects, among other steps. Today, many of those same states are flush with cash, and lawmakers are passing budgets with record spending. Money is pouring into schools, social programs, and infrastructure. Spending plans for the budget year that begins July 1st are up 10% or more in states spanning from Florida and Maryland to Colorado, Utah, and Washington. And finally, in entertainment news, Conjuring 3 tops A Quiet Place 2 as movie-going returns. Domestic box office is getting back to normal with moderate wins and sizable second weekend drops. After its triumphant first weekend, A Quiet Place Part 2 fell 59% at the North American box office, leaving room for the third movie in the Conjuring franchise to take first place. The Conjuring 3 earned an estimated $24 million, according to studio estimates on Sunday. That made the top 5 movies over the weekend. Number 1, The Conjuring, with $24 million. Number 2, A Quiet Place Part 2, with $20 million. Number 3, Cruella, with $11 million. Number 4, Spirit Untamed, with $6 million. And number 5, Raya and the Last Dragon, with $1.3 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Your spirit is ever renewing, ageless and eternal. Each of us has a spiritual self that infuses our thoughts and feelings every second of every day. This spiritual self is not small or big, yet both at the same time. Your individual spirit is like a drop in the ocean of the whole world's spiritual energy. Your spirit inhabits your body similar to a passenger riding a car. At the same time, your spirit is not bound by your body. How many times have you thought about someone when all of a sudden you hear from them? Spirits can reach across the miles to touch the heart of a loved one or friend. Your spirit is ever renewing, ageless, and eternal. Your spiritual self is not old or new, big or small. It is all of these at once. Your spiritual self connects you to the oneness with God and the changeless energy of our world. Today, open yourself up to the fullness of your spirit as you enjoy the day.
Ralph Pittman Jr. is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Entrepreneur Ralph Pittman Jr. joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his career in business and in life. Here's a bit of our conversation.
So I want to begin by talking about how people have gotten to know you, and that is because of your success in business. I mean, many people, talk about what they want to do, Ralph, but what has it been like for you to have set goals for yourself and then to be able to reach those goals?
Absolutely. So, I always say that I grew up, and I came from the School of Hard Knocks. I grew up in New Brunswick, New Jersey, actually, and decided at a young age that I wanted more for myself, and ended up getting a degree at Rutgers University, played football, and my life has really started out just trying to make sure I can take advantage of the fruits of everything and the possibilities that are truly endless in my honest opinion. And so from there, ended up jumping into business. Actually, I started in real estate, and so that was my goal, to become an investor. Actually, started off on the commercial side of things as well, and down, I'm a bona fide investor in real estate. From there, I ended up going and using even my economics degree, and jumped inside of technology. Started out doing technology sales, continued just to climb the ladder, and in my community, I'm one of the few individuals that's been able to make it pretty high. So right now I work with Fortune 100 companies, helping them with their go-to-market strategies, ensuring that they can actually continue to achieve success and creating more opportunities for others. And so that's been something very, very critical for me, just to make sure I can pave the way, show my kids that I can be an example, and as well as my community.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be with you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.